Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play The Sims 4 Once Upon a Horror Story, Part 10. This is the finale of Once Upon a Horror Story, and it's gonna go down. We won't actually see Serenity get murdered, but it's going to be heavily implied that she is murdered. Because you can't drop a radio in a hot tub in The Sims 4. Who knew? But yeah. So, we're starting. We're gonna pretend it's later than 9 p.m. We're gonna say it's like midnight or something. Like 11, I don't know. It's gonna be late. We're gonna say it's later than it actually is. But not much has happened since we last left off. We last left off, my girl Zoey just walked in on Serenity and Kane Sanford, her boyfriend, woohooing. And her and Serenity got into an argument, and then Zoey stormed off upstairs. Everybody else is a bit drunk. Helena's going to have a sit. Aiden's gonna go to sleep. Veronica's gonna go to sleep. Scott's just sitting on Zoey's bed because he's a bit drunk and he has some things to confess to her. And then Carly she wanted to go do something or whatever. She wanted to, like, party or whatever. And then she sees Zoey storm out. And so, here we are. We start from this. And then, so, she sees Serenity. And so, we're gonna go ask Serenity, be like, what just happened? We're gonna gossip. We're gonna be like, why is Zoey so mad? Guess not. Okay, I guess not. Serenity's busy. Never mind, we go to Zoey. Okay, so Zoey, we're gonna get rid of the angry moodlets. We're gonna get rid of the sad moodlet. You know, she might be angry, but, like, she's a bit in the romance department. She's a bit drunk and angry. She's drunk and she's angry. She has a point to prove. You know, her and Scott have had this thing. They had that thing at prom where they kind of like ditched the prom to go watch the stars, and now, no, we're not gonna ask him if he's single, because he's not. He's not, but like, wait, is he? I don't remember. Is he single? Did I have him actually break up with Marie? I did have him break up with Marie, so he is in fact single, so she can't ask him if he's single. So, romance, ask if single. I've gotten to a habit where I don't have my Sims ask the other person if they're single, because usually they're not single. Embrace. And we're just gonna go this from there, because we have a conception to do. And so we got a picture, and we're just gonna make him look less surprised. And see, it's all about angles. Now, if he doesn't say yes, we're just gonna pretend he did while I fix it. Okay, so he's, like, in love with her. I already knew this. Everybody already knew this. What? No thanks. His dad just invited him to go to the bar. No, I'm busy. Okay, so they're gonna do this. And then, can I not mess around? I can. So mess around with Scott Bettencourt. And so, this is the night their child was conceived. Because if you did not know, the teen option for mess around, it's woohoo. They're woohooing. And so, everybody is just sleeping. We're gonna pretend they go to sleep right after this. So, sleep, please. Are you asleep? Can you be asleep? So, Carly, we're gonna pretend that she had a conversation with Scott and he explained everything, and she's over here like, huh. So, she is just gonna have herself a drink. And in case you could not pick up, Carly's the one that also served the drinks, and everybody's conveniently asleep. No, she drugged the drinks This was her plan all along. This is just kind of like her, like, it's Carly. Carly's the murderer. Carly did it. Carly killed Serenity. She's about to do it right now. She knows what happened. She's seeing firsthand the havoc Serenity has wreaked. And we're just gonna... So, she's gonna have her drink. And then she's gonna go outside. Can I put this radio in my inventory? No, I cannot. So we're just gonna stand near the radio. And we're just gonna have... These two are sleeping. And I noticed that in the first part of this series, Helena, when they had all met up at the coffee shop, Helena, I don't know if many of you noticed this, but I think I took a picture of it. Helena gave Carly a like, I know what you did look. So Helena knows. So she's gonna wake up. Helena, wake up. And see, she's gonna see it happen. And she's not gonna say a word. So she sees. And we're just gonna pretend. Okay, radio. Over here. So this is basically the gist of what happened. We're gonna pretend she does not have that drink in her hand. But we're just gonna... We're gonna pretend that drink is the radio. So we're just gonna... See the dead look in Carly's face? That is the look of a cold-blooded killer. Or a bitch face, depending on how you interpret it. But she did it! She did it! It was Carly. And, yeah, it was Carly. Carly murdered Serenity after hearing what Serenity did. And, like, she's like, this is the last straw. You have tarnished too many lives at this point. Like, it's done. Plus, also, her dad just died. Like, you know, she's been angry at the world. Take away these happy moodlets. You're not happy, you're angry. And Helena over here, she's angry too. I don't know why. She's hot-headed, so... We're gonna just take a picture of Helena too, because... This was my plan all along, was for her. Somehow, for Helena to know something. And that was... Because at one point, my first original plan was to have... whoever the murderer was, Helena was gonna know and kind of be like the accomplice, and that was how Zoey and Scott were gonna get back together. But now they're not gonna do that because the love guru said no. And so that was their thing, and that was why he was gonna divorce Helena in, I guess, what I would have considered the good ending, but this is going to be the neutral ending. So, Helena, she sees it. She sees. I love it. And, yeah, Helena, I feel like Helena thought Serenity deserved it. Like, Helena's not going to be the valedictorian. Helena worked hard. Helena's mom has cancer. Serenity made fun of Helena's mom having cancer. She made fun of Zoey's dead parents. It's like, maybe this is like Helena's thought process. Maybe she did deserve it. Like, maybe honestly, Serenity was evil. Maybe she was just a dirty, rotten person. And maybe she did deserve it. Maybe she did. That is how Helena is going to live with herself for the remainder of this LP. It's like, maybe she did deserve it. Maybe this is the universe righting a wrong that it made. Maybe it's karma. I don't know. This is how Helena's like trying to justify what she sees. It's like, maybe it's the right thing. But that is who murdered Serenity Bettencourt. So the mystery murderer of who murdered Serenity Bettencourt was Carly Myers, and Helena Livingston knew. Helena Livingston knew the whole damn time. And I feel like, honestly, because I noticed when it was Veronica's episode, Veronica was snooping through Carly's diary. And I feel like Carly is the kind of person to write stuff down in her diary that would probably incriminate her. And Veronica saw. Veronica read that diary page by page. Veronica knows. In present day. Veronica doesn't know now because Veronica's sleeping now. And by the time she wakes up, Carly's just gonna, it'll be morning, Carly will be in her bed. This is where Carly was supposed to sleep. Carly will be in her bed and no one will know except Helena and Serenity. And Serenity's dead and Helena thinks she did the right thing. But Veronica knows now. And I think Veronica, now that they have become so close as stepsisters, I feel like, honestly, Veronica would not tell anybody that she knew. Veronica would not rat out Carly. I feel like she wouldn't. And, yeah, now we've got to go to the present. We've got to see if these dumbasses, these smart teenagers can figure out, well, the ones that don't know Carly did it, Zoey, Aiden, Scott, and Kane. Let's see if they can figure out who murdered Serenity, and if they can, honestly, would they turn Carly in? That is my biggest question. Would they turn Carly in? So, I will be right back. We are back, and it is now the modern era, and it is Sunday at 8 a.m., and they have all decided, because Aiden brought them all together and said that he needed an ending for his book, and they all thought might as well, because, let's be honest, they all kind of want to know who did it now. 3 of them, of course, already know. Helena, Carly, and Veronica, they already know who did it. Those 3 do. But the other 4 don't have any idea who did it. So, I thought, might as well bring them to the cabin, which looks slightly different. Not because I didn't renovate it, but because time and all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yay, so we can all sit. Okay. So we're gonna light this. And then we're all gonna sit. And they're gonna sit in very specific places because I want them to sit. So, add a log. I want this to actually go for the remainder of the thing. So, you can sit here. Okay, so that's you. And then Veronica can sit here. Zoey can sit here. Okay, come on, people. I have to decide who's gonna sit where. Carly is gonna sit next to Veronica. Scott can sit here. Helena can be here. And you can be here. Oh my god! I can't get you out of my mind lately. Want to go on a date and get some breakfast at the updated 1950s diner. That's where Zoey works, and she's Serenity, she's a bitch, a hoe bitch, even from the grave. Like, Serenity, you want to go to where Zoey works, out on a date with her ex-boyfriend who you slept with. God, Serenity, let's be honest, she deserved to get murdered for her hoe ways. What happened to girl code? I feel like Serenity Bettencourt never heard of girl code. Like, not once. Okay, so here we are. And I'm gonna try to get some screenshots. So, you know, they gotta, I don't know. They gotta figure out who. Trying to get, like, a screen cap of all of them. Okay, so there. So here we are. And Aiden is gonna start the conversation. So, tell a group story. No. I guess invite to hang out. I hope they stay in the same seat. So we're hanging out. And is this all we're gonna do? I need like a big group conversation. How do I have a big group conversation? Tell a dramatic story. brighten day, get to know, discuss interests, tell a funny story. Okay, so we're hanging out. Yes, okay, so I just want to be in a big group conversation. Friendly. I want it to be like a dramatic conversation, or like, tell a group story. No, tell an engaging story. So he's pretty much explaining what he's got in his book so far, and trying to, they're all kind of trying to figure out who did it, because the person who admitted it, who did it, isn't going to admit that they did it. And, you know, we gotta hurry this along. This is the last part. We got a good 10, 15 minutes left, you know? We gotta chop this. Either they gonna figure it out in the next 15 minutes, or they ain't gonna figure it out at all. I've decided that if they don't figure out in the next 15 minutes, the killer is gonna get away with it. Carly's gonna get away with it if they don't figure it out. Unless she implicates herself. That would be kind of sweet. The flea market? No, we're busy. We're playing Nancy Drew over here. Now have the last conversation and have everybody in on it. Can we have a 7-person conversation? Come on, put Zoey in it. Okay, Zoey's in the conversation. So, we're gonna... They're basically trying to, like, discuss who, like, everybody's motives and who... They're trying to put, like, together a timeline of that night. And tell a dramatic story. So, they've gotten to where, Carly pulled out the drink platter. Everybody had a drink. I'm kind of retconning what actually happened. Everybody had a drink. Then, when Zoey was busy, Serenity and Kane went off into the master bedroom, did their thing. Zoey walked in. Scott was drunk at that point. Well, basically kind of like, I guess, I don't know the effects of a drugged drink, so I'm kind of making this up as I go. He felt the need to tell Zoey how he felt about her, so Scott was up in Zoey's room. Zoey walked in on Kane. This is like at night already, so after that, Aiden, Veronica, and Helena, they went upstairs before the big thing with Serenity and Zoey went down. So they went upstairs. Helena and Aiden can vouch for each other because they were in the same room. They can vouch for Veronica because they saw her go in the bed, her bedroom. And then the whole thing with Zoey happened, and then Zoey stampeded up to her room, and then that's when her and Scott did the do. And then, Kane went to sleep, and Serenity paraded herself out here. The stereo's gone now because it was destroyed. The hot tub has been repaired. And so, they've gotten to where Serenity's outside. The only people who really aren't accounted for and who really don't have like a solid alibi are Veronica, Carly, and Kane because they were all alone. And, they're not sure which of those three did it. Because Kane, they don't think Kane did it because, let's be honest, Kane doesn't have it in him to murder somebody. They all knew Veronica was in love with Serenity, so she wouldn't do it. And so they're like, it's like an unspoken thing. There's like this awkward tension in the air. They're all like, oh, that means Carly did it. And so, so they're going to talk about it for a sec. Before they can even try and like accuse her, she's gonna confess. She's gonna mischief. She's going to, what is she gonna do? Friendly? No. We're gonna, hold on. How's her relationship with Serenity? We're gonna add it back a little bit. Okay, so, -75. 75. Run sheet. Okay, so she now hates Serenity. And she is gonna... I'm actually going to have somebody ask her how she feels about Serenity, but we're going to take that as her confession. Ask about another sim, Serenity Bettencourt. And they're going to be like, Carly, did you murder Serenity?
Oh, Quink!
And Carly, we're gonna say that was worse. Carly is now confessed. She is now confessed to murdering Serenity Bettencourt. And she is gonna, and then Helena is gonna share to the group that she knew. So, friendly, I don't know how to do this. Mean, maybe? Friendly. We're gonna express our admiration for Carly. That's how she's gonna, and honestly, she's gonna tell the group a dramatic story about how she woke up and saw Serenity do it. And then Veronica's not gonna say a word, because her and Carly are now ride or die. Like, she's not gonna confess. She's not going to confess that she knows anything. Veronica is going to stay quiet because Carly is her family. Carly is her friend. Probably her best friend at this point. Let's see. Yeah, Carly's like, out of Zoey, Carly, and Kane, Carly is the closest to Veronica. And so they're kind of like ride or die. They're not going to confess. But, Carly has kind of confessed, and she's kind of gonna vent. She's gonna vent, and we're gonna say that, like, this is her big confession, and she's, like, trying to justify everything, which, honestly, let's be honest, Serenity deserved it. And so she's venting. She honestly feels awful. Like, she feels horrible. And so they're like talking about it now. We're gonna pretend that these two aren't trying to be romantic right in front of Zoe's face. Poor Zoe. Poor Zoe. So sad. I know this part isn't really about Zoe, but like, poor Zoe. She has to watch this. Anyways. So they're all trying to say they're all trying to figure out what to do. Like, should they cover for her? Should they just keep it being a mystery? But then we're gonna say somebody popped up. I honestly don't know who would pop up at this point and say that this is wrong or whatever. I don't know which one of them is the most morally sound. I don't think it'd be Zoe, because Zoe hated Serenity. I don't think it'd be Aiden. I don't think it'd be Veronica. I don't think it would be Carly. I don't think it would be Helena. And I don't think it would be Scott. And I don't think it would be Kane. But somebody is gonna bring up, like, morals and how this is wrong. And it's wrong to cover up a murder. And so Carly I need her to do something. Carly is going to call, hold on, do you know? I need to figure out, Colby is the detective, so she's going to call Colby and chat. And so she's kind of reporting herself as the murderer. So Carly is reporting herself as the murderer, because Colby's a detective. He's been working the case for like 3 years straight. And Carly is going to turn herself in. I don't know if she will, I don't know what sentence she will be given, because I don't know even if she'll, I honestly don't know what will happen to her. I assume she will go to jail. Prison, is that I don't know. She will be paying for her crimes. She won't be getting the death sentence. She won't be getting a life sentence. She'll be getting out eventually. It was a heat-of-the-moment thing. There were several underlying circumstances. Serenity was probably a diagnosed sociopath. Like, that family, the Bettencourts, proven by Lydia, have a history of mental instability, because Lydia's in the insane asylum still. Lydia, she lost her mind. And I guess that's kind of how they're gonna... Carly's lawyers are gonna, like, kind of and I think Scott will probably be kind of the representative for the Bettencourts, and I don't think he would want to ruin Carly's life, because he knows that his sister was god-awful. He knows his sister was a sociopath, and I think, honestly, mental instability probably runs in the Bettencourt family. They're kind of going to twist it to be like, maybe Serenity was crazy. maybe she was honestly a sociopath. And yeah, I think Carly will honestly go to jail or prison or whichever you go to. I honestly don't know. I think jail is like when you're waiting for sentencing, and then prison is after your sentence. But I could be wrong on that. My prison knowledge comes from watching Oz, that HBO show from the 90s, and Orange is the New Black. That's where I get my knowledge of prisons and the jails and General Hospital. Those are the three places I get my knowledge from: prison and the justice system. From General Hospital, Oz, and Orange is the New Black. And I don't know if those are accurate depictions of the justice system. I assume at least General Hospital isn't. But something is going to happen to Carly. She will, in fact, be doing time for her crimes. She won't be getting a life sentence. It'll probably be kind of a long-ish sentence. Maybe like 10, 15 years. I don't know. I don't know the time. I don't know. But yeah, that is Once Upon a Horror Story. Carly did it. They all know. Carly is confessing. They were honestly debating it, not saying a word, but then they were like, they all had come to the agreement that, ooh, that's my timer, that is in fact wrong to cover up a murder. I feel like Helena and Scott will have a bit of strain on their relationship because she did in fact lie, and she knew about it for 3 years and didn't say a word, and she kind of just or whatever. She just didn't say anything. But I feel like they will honestly fix that in their marriage. I feel like Zoey, I'm trying to go over like what the characters will become and later. But Helena, she's going to be a lawyer. Her and Scott, I don't know if they'll have children, but she will probably continue to raise her siblings. She'll continue to raise her little sisters until they decide to do whatever with their lives and move out when they're old enough, you know. Helena's kind of matured a lot over the past 3 years, even though she was probably the most mature of the group. Scott Bettencourt, I feel like he will probably be more of a father to Marisol. I think that's his daughter's name. I honestly don't remember her name. Yeah, Marisol. I think he'll be more of a father to her now that he knows. Zoey will probably still have primary custody, but, you know, he'll have whatever. I don't know custody issues either. I get this from General Hospital. But, yeah. And I feel like he honestly still does in his heart of hearts, because he did seem to have some second thoughts at that wedding. Him and Zoey kept giving these longing looks to each other, so I feel like he will honestly... Zoey is probably his first love, the person he honestly fell in love with, and I feel like Zoey will always have a very special place in Scott's heart, but they are the definition of bad timing. The greatest love story that was never told. Scott and Zoey. And they honestly deserved better, but circumstances and time and pain and all that. He wasn't ready to be a father. She kind of lied about everything. You know, they weren't, like, in another time, maybe in, I don't know, somewhere in this world they could have been good for each other. I'm tearing up. Somewhere in this world they could have been good for each other. Zoey, I think she will honestly, because they're only like 21, she will grow up to be a successful single parent. I hope she will raise Marisol correctly and justly, and I hope that the mistakes of her past don't affect her relationship with her daughter. And I honestly do wish the very best for Zoey. As you can all tell, she was my favorite because she's on my banner. She was basically the main character of this series. Other than the big Who Killed Serenity plot, the second kind of subplot was Zoey's love life. And yeah, Zoey, I'll miss you. And time to go over to Aiden. Aiden, I honestly think that he will, obviously, Carly is going to turn herself in, so he will have his ending for a book. It is going to be a bestseller. It'll probably reach New York Times bestseller. It'll probably be bestseller for a few weeks. I don't know. And I think that'll skyrocket him into success. Honestly, I hope that the closure of Serenity's murder will be enough to pull Julie out of her depression. And I honestly hope that they both grow as people from this incident. And I honestly hope that Aiden also finds another love interest. I honestly don't know if he'll reconnect with Kyle from the prom episode, but maybe. Only time could tell. And Veronica, I think we have learned now, because she still has not said a word about Carly, about knowing about Carly being the murderer. And I don't think she would, because she doesn't want to give the police any more evidence than they have. I feel like she probably tore the pages out of that diary and probably burned them when they figured out they were coming to this trip. But Veronica, I hope you will be a very good painter, but be the best bartender you can be for right now. You need to find a love interest who treats you well. Serenity was never gonna magically turn around and be like Allison from Pretty Little Liars in the later seasons, which honestly, I know this isn't the time or the place, but honestly, let's be honest. Did we honestly believe Allison just magically changed and just, I never liked Allison in Pretty Little Liars. I think Emily deserved more. And that's kind of how I'm feeling with Veronica. Veronica, I hope you find your Maya one day. I hope she just doesn't get murdered. Carly, I kind of get why you did it. Serenity was awful. Serenity made you feel like a second-class citizen. She was honestly kind of berating you. And, you know, maybe if you didn't have such inquisitive friends, you would have gotten away with it. And I honestly hope that one day, once you get out of prison, you can be like Martha Stewart. Did Martha Stewart go to prison? I think it was Martha Stewart. I think Martha Stewart was the one that went to prison. Might not have been her. But I hope you build your brand. You can build your brand in prison. And I hope you and Zach can continue your relationship, because I honestly think you are good for him and he is good for you. You both deserve better than Serenity, and such is life. Kane, let's be honest, you were the most irrelevant of the mains, and for that I'm sorry. It's just there were a lot of main characters and only so many episodes. You were kind of a dirtbag when you cheated on Zoe Rhodes with Serenity. We'll just say that was a brief lapse in judgment, but hopefully you will find yourself a girlfriend in the future who you won't cheat on and who you will love. Because, let's be honest, you and Zoe are not getting back together. That was going to be one of my plans. Like, when I was debating the beginning of the series, I was like, could Zoe and Kane get back together in the end? But then I was like, nah. But, yeah, I hope you find someone, and I don't really... What was your job? What do you do? Maybe you can be the next Don Lothario, you know. You do you, boo. You do you. I hope you prosper in life. Honestly, I wish all these characters the best, because even though this was only a 10-episode series, I am attached to almost every one of them, let's be honest, except Kane. But yeah, I know this part is a bit long, but it is the finale of Once Upon a Horror Story. The murderer has been uncovered. Carly's going to go to jail. And I think we've wrapped up all the storylines. So that is it for this season of Once Upon a Horror Story. Next year, there will probably be a new season. And I'm debating on a few ideas depending on which packs that we have out by then. And keep in mind, this is like an anthology. Think American Horror Story. Like, Season 1 will not have the same characters as Season 2. Season 2 won't have the same characters as Season 3. We might have a few cameos here and now. But for right now, this is the end of these characters. Maybe we'll bring them back for more mini-series. And we'll see how their lives will turn out. But for now, this is the end of the characters. And we got to end on Zoe Rhodes, because she was the main. I don't want anybody to debate that in the comments section, because Zoe Rhodes was the main character. But that is all for this season. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!